Welcome to Channel AMAC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side so once we have all the updates and news, be the first one getting all the insight. Now, yesterday's video we have updated you the employment sponsor expansion, whether you're on the medium long term occupation list or the short-term occupation list. Both of them are available to transfer into permanent residency under the TRT stream of subclass 186 visa. Now, obviously, then the question here is, now what is actually in the short-term list? Let's go in there and have a look. As previously in the previous, I don't know, probably 6 or 8 years, people won't be able to actually access to permanent residency of these occupations. So they are available now as long as you are in those occupations and identify a potential Australian employer to actually sponsor and nominate you and work 2 years, you are eligible to transfer into permanent residency 2 years after. So let's have a look at what are those exciting occupations there. Now, these occupation has been long not been discussed for a long time because a lot of them will just not even being enrolled into such courses. People even got the work visa, they won't be able to transfer into permanent residency. So now this is the in-force superseded version, so that's available currently. As you can see on the title, specification of occupation subclass 482 visa. Let's just go down to the actual table. I'm not going to go through those detailed regulations, but as you can see, part 2 specification of occupation, and this is for short-term skill occupation list. Now I'm gonna go through, or hopefully go through, I don't know how many, 200 of them, but I will just read them out. And if there's a special one, I would like to comment a little bit about it. So first one is flower grower, grape grower, vegetable grower. So if you are into agriculture and you identify a potential primary production employer, there you go. Okay, poultry farmer, sales and marketing manager. Now that one is a little bit hard. Why do I say that? Because the skill assessment requires actual higher ranks of a managerial role where you manage about 12 people underneath you. So that's the hard part there. Advertising manager, corporate service manager, finance manager, that's under the accountant's category. So if you're a finance manager but not dealing with taxation or as a tax agent lodgements, where you plan for clients' finance, that's where you will sit at. Okay, human resource manager, that's, well, recruiter. If you work for a recruiter, here we go. That's where to go. Research and development manager, a bit hard. I mean, if you're doing research and development, you probably be at a university, well, that's the scarcity of it. So you gotta find a research organization. Usually is university. Manufacturer, production manager for forestry, production manager of manufacturing, production manager of mining. So what is the difference between manufacturer and production manager? Interesting. They are, as you can see from the ends code, they are really close. You know, 133411 and 133512. So that not much of differences, but it basically, I think it's more, so production is more towards some sort of products. Manufacturer might not be some sort of product. It can be some resources or what sort. Okay, supply and distribution manager, health and welfare service manager, school principal. That's gonna be hard. I mean, if you get employed as a school principal previously under the short term, if you're a school principal, you cannot even transfer to become a permanent residency. So school principals, coming to Australia. Okay, education manager. Now, ICT project manager, ICT manager, these are exciting one because there has been a lot of ICT professionals, and they predominantly managing a project base. Previously, they can't access to permanent residency, but now they open laboratory manager, quality assurance manager, and specialist manager, cafe restaurant manager, beauty. Now make sure you see that 8 there on the column. It basically gives you a caveat. The caveat will actually say it has to be a dining restaurant, a dining cafe. It cannot be a takeaway. So that's basically what it is. A hotel motel manager. There's so many hotel motels. Well, hotel chain will be too big, but motel there's a lot. There's also 3-star, 4-star hotels that can get that into it. There's accommodation hospitality manager. This are all the others. So for instance, they are giving you an example. There are currently a lot of the service apartments. Now they are not hotel, they are not motel, but they do rent. Now the question is, what about a role has been given to manage all the Airbnbs? Probably will meet that requirement too, right? So just a little bit of imaginations there. Well, now obviously Airbnb not manage just one accommodation, but multiple. Probably will meet that requirement too, because that's accommodation, right? Okay, customer service manager, that's more towards, people may argue that's servicing customer, but no, if you're a managerial role, you are probably managing about, I would say 10 to 15 plus, perhaps, for example, telemarketers, and you manage them in order to get into the customer service parts or the sales. Okay, it's very similar to sales and marketing manager there. Right, continue on. Conference and event organizer. Wow, okay. I mean, Australia is not predominantly a large part of the global where they continue to hold events and so on and so forth. But if you're an event company helping multiple and different industry to hold events, that's probably where you can go. Transport company manager. Now that's interesting one. Now imagine that you work for a taxi company or a transportation company that runs a fleet of Ubers, right? And if you're a manager there, beauty, that's probably where to go. Okay, so have a think about those names. Now, previously working in those areas, you won't be able to access to permanent residency again, since not yesterday, Saturday, 25th of November, the expansion of employment sponsor visa, you are available there. Facility managers, what are these things? Facility, for example, you work for a shopping center. There are a lot of facilities, stairs, equipment, and all sorts of staff that you manage all these facilities. So that's facility managers there. Music professional, building. I mean, music professional used to be never actually be in a way to actually be sponsored to become a permanent resident. So it's a look, whatever the musical that or instrument that you play, that can probably be in there. Photographer. I think that will be a little bit hard because a lot of photographer, they work as a studio, they work by themselves, but the law actually prevent employer sponsor themselves. So you cannot be boss, and you cannot be the business owner, and you cannot be the employee. So the policy does not allow that currently. So if you want to be a photographer, you got to work for, I don't know, some advertising company there. Book script editor, director, that would be hard if you work in the film industry. Program director, stage manager, a technical director, video producer. So these are actually being in the film industry or perhaps in the event as well. There's a lot of event they helping client or industry to actually provide stages, lightings, filming, technical directors, video producer, things like that. Copywriter usually works for news corporations or and they write news articles and things. Newspaper periodic editor, print journalist. I'm not too sure they still print journalists. I mean, we're in a digital world nowadays. Technical writer, television journalist, journalists and other writers. I think these will be really hard because we're in a digital age nowadays. Company secretary. Okay, so if you work as a secretary, just helping your boss getting things to be managed. Here we go. You can access to the short-term list. Commodity trader. Well, that would be hard. You gotta really find an employer which is usually a large international trading company. So and that will be a few. No, that won't be a lot out there. Finance broker, insurance broker, financial broker. So the hard part here now. I mean, finance brokerage companies won't really employ migrants because if you draft a sign-up agreement with a client and you suddenly left the country, that'll be hard. That'll be a lot of burden, obligation, and responsibility by the brokerage company there. So it'll be hard for them to actually accept migrants there. Just talking about the common sense or general feeling about it. Okay, financial dealer is the same. Financial investment advisor. I don't think these big corporation or bankers will actually, unless you are really trustworthy and your rank is really high. Okay, because your pay is high, you are unlikely to leave, and the company would like to keep you there. Recruitment consultant. Now that's a little bit duplication with the HR managers. So HR manager can actually be a recruiter as well, but they manage the recruited employees. Now recruitment consultant may recruit the workers for other companies. Okay, so that's the differences there. ICT trainer, mathematicians, gallery, museum curator, health information manager, record manager. Now, health information manager, interesting one. Now, I think this is more for people working at the medical clinic. So there's a lot of general practices out there. And you're basically sitting at the reception area. That's what that occupation actually meant. Okay, librarian, organization method analysis, patents examiner. That will be hard. I don't know who will the employer be. Advertising specialist, marketing specialist. That's pretty generic. ICT account manager, business development manager, and sales representative. Now, sales representative will be quite easy to get there. I mean, there's a lot of software sales requirements out there, and you only require to be a representative, not even a manager. So. Well, look, that's opened up for a lot of the people that are on the market. So that's very similar to marketing specialist out there. Public relation professional, technical sales. Technical sales is really close to sales representative. So what is the difference there? I think ICT is more towards software. Technical sales is more on the hardware. For example, cables. For example, routers. You know, those hardware stuff. Okay, education sales representative. Now that, interestingly, can you work as education sales rep that you sell educational products? That can actually be there. That's including also the we'll see on the later on. There's an education advisor. Okay, so would you, if you got employed at the education agency, 2 years later, you'll be able to transfer into a permanent residency as well. Okay, fashion designer, that would be hard. Industrial designer, jewelry designer, very good one. That's highly paid. Graphic designer, illustrator, web designer, interior designer. Now we're talking now because in previous, I mean, 20 years, very rare interior designer will can actually access to perm residency, but now it's there. Urban and regional planner. So if you're working as an urban or at the city council or whatever, generally this will be a regional area there. Geologist, primary school teacher, middle school education advisor. We just talked about that. Art teacher, dance teacher, music teacher as well. So not just the musical, the musicians, but the teachers as well. Private tutors, and you got to work at the tutoring company there. Teacher of English and speaker in other language. That means you teach English. Not too sure why Australia would require those kind of English teachers, because Australia's already got a lot of English teachers. Dietitian, nutritionist, occupational health and safety advisor, and all the medical pharmacists, retail pharmacists, health promotion, acupuncture, naturopath, and all the medical. You can see that nurse, their education, nurse. Don't understand what nurse research actually does. Web developer, software tester, database admin. So as you can see, most of the ICT are all qualified in there. QS manager, support engineer, test engineer, judicial and legal professional. That's people working in the court. I don't think a migrant could actually get a real job working at the court. That would be really hard. Unless you were extremely professional, that people will like you to be there. A career counselor, drug and alcohol counselor, family marriage counselor. That would be hard. Rehab counselor, student counselor, counselor and a psychotherapist, interpreter, social professional, recreation officer, welfare worker, and going on with all the medical people, meat inspector. Now that's a hard one because I actually went through courses. That's very hard. Primary production inspector, chemistry technician, earth science technician, life science technician. So these are not actual engineer. They actually work as a technician. So the least requirement there will be a diploma level there. So that's the beauty of it. Architecture drafts person. So not just to be an architect, but if you're only drafting all the architectural drawings, you'll be there. There's a lot of builders require those kind of people. Building inspector, architectural building surveyor technicians, mechanical engineer technician, all kind of technicians in there. Mine deputy, I'm not too sure what that actually does. Hardware technician, ICT customer support officer, web admin, ICT support technician, farrier aircraft maintenance engineer. There used to be a lot of people study the aircraft engineering courses. Now, if you get that 482 visa, you'll be able to transfer yourself into a permanent residency. Metal fitter, precision instrument maker, repairer, tool maker, vehicle body builder, vehicle trimmer, roof tiler. Wow, okay, good. Business machine mechanic. Not too sure why that is. Cabler, that's all telecommunication. Now, bacon pastry cook is the big one. Okay, because there used to be a lot of courses open up for patisserie courses, but they are not able to actually get. Now, bear in mind, these courses, if you study baker and pastry courses, you cannot get 485 visa. So actually get this one, you are required to be a baker or pastry cook offshore. That's how I believe that is going to be. Okay, cook, dog handler, and animal attendant, vet, florist, gardener, landscape gardener, greenkeeper, hairdresser is a big one too. I've been inquired with a lot of clients. Now, hairdresser now in the short list, and they can actually transfer into a permanent residency as well. But again, studying hairdressing courses does not get you 485 visa. So these people will require, the hairdresser required to be done their qualification and work experiences offshore, okay, with the English IELTS 5, okay, and all the other jeweler, camera operator, makeup artist is all in there, sound technician, performing art technician, sign writer, ambulance officer, dental technician is big as well. There's courses in the TAFE, but again, they are not, you don't get 485 visa. Massage therapist, you don't get 485 visa, so you gotta get this done offshore, and work experience crew offshore as well. Diver, retail buyer, insurance agency, contract admin, sport development officer, sports person, not quite, I don't know, you gotta be at the club, sport development officer, and other instructor and coaches are in there as well. There's also diver instruction and a residential care officer. Not too sure what that does, families, but more in the social welfare part of it. But anyway, that's for the quick review of all the occupation in the short-term occupation list. So here we go. They are open for permanent residency through the 482 visa, 2 years work experiences, and transfer into a TRT stream under subclass 186. So should you have a question, query, more than welcome to leave a comment right down below. Let's see you next video. Goodbye.